with the beginning of October through October 1st, he would be more of a stormwater employee. I mean, he's still a city employee, but he would report to the stormwater department more for his day-to-day marching orders. And then come October, when we begin leaf cleanup season and go into the winter months, he would report more directly to the street department. And that's not to say, you know, he's still a city employee, he's still employed primarily by the street department. Not to say he couldn't be pulled off of stormwater duties in the summertime because of a need for the street department. Say a storm that might come through over the summer where we would need help clearing streets and stuff like that. But there's always those work betweens, and we've kind of been doing this already as he came on board last summer. This is just more of a formal way to do this and a way for the stormwater department to participate in his compensation package.
And so, speaking of his compensation, would put him closer to a foreman level versus just a pure laborer level, correct?
It would, and that's really his background, and we've already been using him kind of in this role. He's done several storm sewer repairs, even replacing curb inlets and catch basins for the stormwater department. And when he has served on that role, a couple of jobs we've had him out on, he kind of does act as a foreman, where he's supervising other street department employees that are actually doing the labor. So it's been a good asset. We brought him on board. He came to us from the town of Zionsville. He's got a lot of public infrastructure and drainage experience, and he really is a foreman level person. But we brought him into the street department as sort of our entry level laborer. And so this is a way to get him a little bit closer back to a pay grade he's used to and utilize him more fully and play to his strengths.
What's his name?
Tom Brown.
Okay.
Dick, since you were on the stormwater board before, from a budget perspective, does that make sense from that side?
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Yeah. Well, okay. Like I say, we've talked about it for 2 or 3 years before Kevin came along. We talked about that could be the process as we move forward, trying to share. And we discussed that last couple of years with Larry, trying to work out something like that. So, yeah, I think it's a great idea, and I think it's a way to work it out to make it happen as we go to build that department a little more. I think it's the right way to do that. Yep. And like I say, plus it helps Larry, and he's got somebody he can count on in the wintertime, another extra man somewhere down the road. And the other thoughts were, as Tom could be someone that could be trained to help Larry with the street sweeping and stuff like that, free up a man of his that he could take the street sweeper out when he's not working on storm drains or somewhere, and could be running the street sweeper, throughout the streets, because that's
kind of both storm and street.
Part of the storm job.
Yeah.
To clean the gutters and things like that in the streets. So.
Cool. And that's why we
add this to the plan.
That's why we consolidated the board. So that's exactly right. So.
And this wouldn't be an additional appropriation. We have money set aside for additional employees, additional labor maintenance employees for the summer, or for the year, excuse me. So we'd be using a portion of this to, like I said, for the salary issue with Tom, and then we would still have a line in the budget for additional salary, where we would probably look to hire some summer help to help supplement that at our busiest time of the year. So.
Okay. Well, like I said, we're not taking action tonight, but I do think it does make sense. We can figure out all the details from the financing perspective. So,
Donna, do you want to
talk about the vehicle as well?
Yeah. I did. Kevin and I talked earlier today about this. Since we've added the stormwater to the Board of Works, I just wanted to be clear on the finance portion. I talked to the State Board of Accounts today, and since this is not a budget appropriated number, this is purely stormwater that comes from fees. It's fine to bring it before the board, but it really doesn't need any approval. As long as the money is there, we're okay to spend it, as long as we don't overspend.
Okay.
So, like you said, you can discuss that. Ideally, you'd probably bring it before the council, the board of Works, so they know what's going on. But
do we have a copy of the 2017 budget that we can kind of review?
Evan has it.
You have it?
Of course, yeah, and I can distribute that.
Okay. Jane, you think it'd be a good idea?
Probably so.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, give us a couple days to talk about it, and then we can get back with you. So, and then you want to talk about the vehicle as well?
Yeah, again, I hit on this, but we have two vehicles sort of in our fleet. One is a Chevy Captiva. It's a small SUV, and that has been the one and only stormwater department vehicle for some time. But it's not real conducive to the type of work that we do. Mr. Newell is a working manager, and so he needs a vehicle that he can throw a shovel in the back of and use for those types of maintenance needs when they're needed. So that small SUV really isn't conducive to that type of work. Last year, we got a very helpful donation from the fire department for one of their old surplus vehicles that they were getting rid of. So we've repurposed that truck. It's a Dodge truck that we've been using for more of the maintenance aspects of stormwater since last summer when that was given to us. And so what we'd like to do is take the small SUV and surplus that and then sell it or trade it in or whatever avenue we find that is the best value for the city, and then find a way that we could then purchase another, work level truck. So a couple things, again, with Tom coming on board in that part-time fashion, with the budget for additional hires, we really do need two trucks in the stormwater department, or two vehicles, and they really do need to be trucks. The SUV that, is too nice to throw a pair of dirty boots and a shovel in just isn't real functional for us. So this is where we'd like to go. Again, we would also mention the purchase of vacuum excavation equipment that we'll be buying this year. We'll probably be purchasing that sometime in May, right before we get into the construction season. We would also like to have a truck that is capable of pulling that trailer mounted equipment. So this would also fit that bill and still have another truck available for maintenance needs.
Okay. Any questions from the board?
Could we look at like enterprise leasing, maybe to
That's
take
something we'd already discussed.
take that vehicle in on trade and?
We're going to look at all options. We've ran the Blue Book numbers on the vehicle. We even took it down to CarMax just to get a quick offer, so we understand what the value is. So the value is somewhere between, I think, $8,800 and $9,500. So that's probably the value we're talking about. We've also got quotes from Estes and Jean Lewis Ford for comparably equipped a Ford and a Chevy pickup truck. So we're probably, the low bid right now is a Ford truck that's in the neighborhood of $26,000. Again, leasing is also an option that we're going to
Yeah, I think leasing would be a better approach, but you can look at it.
Yeah, it's something we want to look at. So I know perhaps that's a bigger goal citywide for street, storm, parks departments to look at leasing utility trucks and maintenance trucks. So we're going to look into that before we make a final decision. So tonight is just opening the lines of communication, telling you what we're thinking about doing, and we'll come back and keep you updated. Whether or not we have to have a formal motion from you, that's beside the point. We're gonna communicate with you as we go through the process.
Okay. Thank you, Kevin. Any final questions on stormwater business?
No.
Yeah. Is there any other new business coming for the board?
I do have one item.
Yeah.
Each year, we have checks that are outstanding from 2 years ago that we void and we receipt back into the fund. This year, we have 2 checks. One's for $204.01, and the other is for $177.34, and we'll receipt those back into the fund that they were paid from because they were never cashed. And we've contacted both of these people for about 2 years, and nothing has ever happened. So with your approval, we'll put those back in the fund.
Okay. Would entertain a motion to void those 2. Actually, Tanya, do you have the check numbers with you?
I do. Check number 42547 for $204.01, and check 45902 for $177.34.
Would entertain a motion to void check number 42547 and check 45902, and then resubmit those checks into the fund. Did you have to say so moved? You just say so moved, yeah, if you want. Yep.
I move to approve check numbers 42547. Do you need separate motions?
Motion to void the checks.
To void check number 42547 and 45902, and then deposit the money back into the account.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
A second?
Motion and a second. I think it was Bill. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, that's approved. Any other new business?
No?
Any public comment, questions? Okay, move on to claims. And since we now have this, just to clarify the board, we'll be doing both the city claims and then followed by the stormwater claims. So I would entertain a motion concerning the city claims.
I make a motion, we approve the claims for the city?
We have a motion to approve the claims for the city. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed? City claims are approved. And would entertain a motion concerning the stormwater claims.
I'll make a motion, we approve the stormwater claims.
We have a motion to approve the stormwater claims. Is there a second?
I second.
Motion is second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed? Okay, those are approved. And would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed? Okay. The next Board of Works meeting will occur on February 12th at 5:30 PM. Thanks for watching.